Cooper Dawson. Yasmin Fryer. Kate Mutton. Bachelor of Arts in Creative Arts, Benjamin James. Bachelor of Arts in Japanese, Ting Sui Lin. Graduate Certificate in Film and Television Music, Celia Ong. Master of Arts, Jangwon Maiwad. Pirafol Montira Malai. Master of Mass Communication, Bi Hua Kang. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Arts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Margaret Gardner, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Business and Equity.
Chancellor, I present graduates of the Faculty of Commerce and Management who have been granted the following awards. Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, Anne Gordon. Jane Griffin. Jill Harris. Bachelor of Business, Sharon Anderson. Robert Baer. John Barch. Evelyn Bentoro. Bianca Brisano. John Caceres. Sylvia Kayadi. Nerida Child. Daniel Chua. Sylvia Kufi. Anthony Detrick. Agrish Doshi. Bo Edwards. Nadia Evans. Leona Flanagan. Graham Foxwell. Valerie Gibbs. Kylie Godden. Frith Grundy. Juan Paul Gulliver. Jodie Hamilton. Cynthia Hampson. Beth Harlow. Anna Harris. Robert Harrison. Wendy Heng. Alicia Hodwanik. Zhao Tu Huang. Angie Ibrahim. Jason Kerr. Jasmine Kim. Tony Kolek. Anna Lenneth. Marisha Lippartz. Kate McGregor. Kate Mailman. Brett Macon. Robert McLaughlin. Kirsten Morris. Tina Morrow. Sandy Ping. Katie Raymond. Jordan Reeves. Digby Richter. Mafunwi Rigby. Shannon Rousel. Michael Sapkin. Carl Schutze. Christian Stevens. Jay Stewart. David Stubbs. Vivian Tobiah. Yin Sheng Sai. Alisa Voss. Kevin Wang. Lance Wilkinson. Karen Wiseman. Linda Wolfe. Kern Yang. Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Arts Japanese, Imelda Webster. Bachelor of Business in Retailing Management, Jay Chergwin. Amber Deutsch. Luke Stannard. Bachelor of Commerce, Fiona Ryan. Bachelor of Hotel Management, Pansy Chan. Wen Chern. Stephen Ching. Rafael Correa. Anthony Day. Leila Habul. Stephen Ho. Justina Liu. Julian Snellius. Mariko Somea. Naoko Yamaji. Paco Jung. Bachelor of International Finance, Jane Lamb. Carolyn Murray. Master of Hospitality Management, Vandana Samani. Master of Professional Accounting, Megan Mackay. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Commerce and Management.
Ladies and gentlemen, Associate Professor Neil Russell, Acting Dean of the Faculty of Education.
Chancellor, I present graduates of the Faculty of Education who've been granted the following awards. The Bachelor of Education. Anita Breyer. Danny Hill. Deborah Holmes. Melissa Jane Little. Mari Sharp. Angie Sorosky. The Graduate Certificate in the Teaching of English as a Second Language, Kevin Drew. the Master of Education Studies, Michelle Domelo. Rosalind Franklin. Jackie Corriglou. Colette Macotta. Paul Nichols. Charlotte Robinson. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Education.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Yu Chai Lu, Acting Dean of the Faculty of Engineering.
Chancellor, I present a graduate of the Faculty of Engineering who has been granted the Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering. Rahul Dayat. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Engineering.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Bill Hogarth, Dean of the Faculty of Environmental Sciences.
Chancellor, I present graduates from the Faculty of Environmental Sciences who have been granted the following degrees. Bachelor of Environmental Science, Sarah Jones. Bachelor of Science, Tieran Brownlee. Amy Burton. Richard Crozier. Amanda Flood. Paul Lutz. Amy Miller. Drew Morfrey. Fiona Smith. James Ouellette. Bachelor of Science with First Class Honours, Bonnie Thomas. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Environmental Sciences.
Chancellor, Professor John O'Gorman, the Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences.
Chancellor, I present graduates from the Faculty of Health Sciences who have been granted the following awards. Bachelor of Biomedical Science, Kate Hunt. Bachelor of Health Science, Narelle Bristow. Melanie Cheek. Carleen Rooney. Bachelor of Exercise Science and Bachelor of Business, Sarah Purchase. Master of Sports Physiotherapy with Honours, Peter Mitchell. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Health Sciences.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Rodney Topor, Acting Dean of the Faculty of Information and Communication Technology.
Chancellor, I present graduates from the Faculty of Information and Communication Technology who have been granted the following awards. Bachelor of Information Technology, Alastair Kennelly. Peter Yu. Bachelor of Information Technology with Second Class Honours Division A, John Zarkos. Master of Information Technology or Master of Computing, Ravindra Bandiala. Neeraj Chalana. Chi Chiang Chen. Joseph Chiang. Prashant Garg. Xun Lee. Vaishali Modi. John Reber. Prasad Tirumala. Varma Upalapati. Lulu Zhang. Bachelor of International Business taken in the Faculty of International Business and Politics, Shaukat Dedi. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Information and Communication Technology and International Business and Politics.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Anne McMurray, the Dean of the Faculty of Nursing and Health.
Chancellor, I present graduates from the Faculty of Nursing and Health who have been granted the following awards. Bachelor of Nursing, Bridget Alsop. Catherine Devantier. Gillian Grace. Kathy Johnston. Linda Jones. Anthony Kirkham. Lise Kopitke. Michelle Martin. Pamela Middleton. Claire Monroe. Samantha Nolan Nyland. Christine Pierce. Beverly Rehall. Jane Saul. Kirsten Tremaine. Graduates from the Master of Emergency Nursing, David Corkill. For the Master of Nursing, Karen Sheriff. For the Master of Nursing with Second Class Honors, Division B, Christine Ryan. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Nursing and Health.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ashley Lai, Acting Director of the Graduate School of Management.
Chancellor, I present graduates from the Graduate School of Management who have been granted the following awards. Master of Business Administration, Sanjay Bhaskaran. Jeffrey Enderlin. Guanzin Jiang. Robert Kelly. Doug Terry. Danielle Webb. Master of Business Administration with distinction, Julian Stockley Smith. Master of Business Administration International, Jackie C. Taryn Jane. Amjad Khan. Mike Lee. Hu Chin Lo. Yin Chu Lu. Amir Munir. Rung Sri Poon Pol. Rishi Singla. Dungamorn Super Exorn. Zahin Takari. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Graduate School of Management.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Dennis Lincoln, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research.
Chancellor, tonight the University is proud to honour a graduate who has satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Chancellor, the following graduate has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Environmental Sciences. Dr. Randall. Dr. Randall investigated and developed mathematical modelling systems for optimization problems in the field of operations research. Chancellor, I present Dr. Marcus Christian Randall. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a brief musical interlude performed by the Queensland Conservatorium, Griffith University Trombone Trio.
With the authority of the Council, I shall now confer the degree of Doctor of the University. I call upon the Acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Bill Lovegrove, to make the presentation.
Chancellor, the Council of the University has resolved to award the degree of Doctor of the University to Sir Frank Moore, AO. Chancellor, Francis Thomas Moore was born in Brisbane in November 1930 and educated at Nudgee College in Brisbane. In a distinguished career spanning over 45 years, Sir Frank has made outstanding contributions to the community in a number of different professions, including property valuation and administration, media and broadcasting, and the tourism industry. As a registered property valuer, Sir Frank has practiced in both rural and urban valuation since 1952. In recognition of his services to the profession, he was made an Honorary Fellow of the Australian Institute of Valuers and Land Economists in 1988. In the area of radio broadcasting, Sir Frank was Managing Director and the founding investor of the Radio Broadcasting Network of Queensland from 1957 to 1978. He was also a member of the board of the company which won the Channel O, now Channel 10 television licence in Brisbane in the early 1960s. His contributions to media and broadcasting were recognised in 1995 with his induction into the Time Club Radio Hall of Fame. Sir Frank is probably best known for the key role he has played in the advancement of the tourism industry. He chaired the 1978 Queensland Government inquiry into the tourism industry, which led to the establishment of the Queensland Tourist and Travel Corporation. As chairman of the corporation from 1978 to 1990, Sir Frank provided the guiding force in the expansion and internationalisation of the tourism industry in Queensland. At the national level, he served as chairman of the Tourism Council Australia from 1984 to 1995. In this role, he was responsible for shaping national policy in relation to tourism, as well as implementing major strategic changes to the Australian tourism industry. Under Sir Frank's leadership, the tourism industry has made significant contributions to the growth of state and national economies. In developing tourism products, he has been committed to maintaining high standards in respect of environmental and social responsibilities. As chairman of the Australian Tourism Research Institute, he was instrumental in promoting industry-sponsored investments in tourism research and education at a university level. Griffith is particularly grateful for Sir Frank's efforts to help establish the university's Cooperative Research Centre for Sustainable Tourism. As chairman of the centre since 1977, he has overseen its successful expansion into a major national and international tourism research facility. In recent years, Sir Frank has continued his commitment to community affairs through his work on a number of important bodies. He is currently chairman and director of Fordland Hotels and Resorts Proprietary Limited, as well as being the chairman of the Taylor Burn Tourism Group, the Tourism Forecasting Council, Advent Tourism Fund Management Limited and Great Southern Railway Limited. He is a director of Jupiters Limited and an honorary member of the World Travel and Tourism Council. He has also served as a member of the Queensland Liquor Licensing Commission from 1978 to 1990 and was a director of SeaWorld, Air Queensland, Curralbin Valley Limited and the Australian Stockman's Hall of Fame and Expo 88. In a long and distinguished career, Sir Frank has received a number of prestigious awards. He was created a Knight Bachelor in 1983 and appointed as an Officer of the Order of Australia in 1991 for his contributions to the community and to the tourism industry. In 1990, he was awarded the honour of Outstanding Contribution by an Individual at the Queensland Tourism Awards, and in 1995 a similar Australian National Award. In 1994, he was awarded an honorary doctorate from James Cook University and made a Fellow of Southern Cross University in 1997 for services to tourism education. It is especially fitting that the Council of Griffith University should honour Sir Frank Moore in recognition of his many contributions to the community and to the tourism industry. Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I present to you Sir Francis Thomas Moore, AO, for admission to the degree of Doctor of the University.
I call upon the Acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Bill Lovegrove, to introduce the guest speaker.
Chancellor, our guest speaker, Mr. Terry Moran, is Director General of Education Queensland. He has had a varied career in the fields of education and training, personnel and management consultancy and court administration, and has worked with successive federal and state governments as a policy advisor and manager. From late 1987 to May 1993, Mr. Moran was Chief Executive of the Victorian Office of the State Training Board, which was responsible for a system linking public and private training providers to the needs of industry. In May 1993, he was appointed the first Chief Executive Officer of the Australian National Training Authority. This statutory authority works with industry, Commonwealth, state and territory governments to develop a nationally consistent vocational education and training system which is responsive to the needs of industry and individuals. It is an innovative approach to the management of Commonwealth-state relations in a major area of government activity. Mr. Moran's priorities as Director General Education Queensland are the development of a strategy to progress education over the next 10 years and, in particular, to reverse the decline in apparent retention rates to Year 12 and to prepare Queensland students for the workforce. Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to call upon Mr. Terry Moran to deliver this evening's occasional address.
The Honourable John McCrossan, Chancellor, Professor Bill Lovegrove, Acting Vice-Chancellor, members of the University Council and members of the Gold Coast Advisory Council, graduates and their families, Sir Frank Moore, ladies and gentlemen. I should very much like to thank Professor Lovegrove for inviting me to speak to you on the occasion of your formal graduation. First, of course, let me congratulate you all on the achievement of the significant milestone in your careers. Charles Ledbetter, a special advisor to the United Kingdom government on its white paper, The Knowledge-Driven Economy, wrote for a recent forum of the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development as follows: A growing share of economic activity is intangible and immaterial. The service sector accounts for a growing share of output and employment in developed and rapidly developing economies. Two very powerful trends are combined in these developments. First, a growing share of what we produce and consume is immaterial: information, judgment, analysis, service, entertainment, advice. The assets we use to produce these immaterial goods are increasingly immaterial as well. We increasingly rely on information technology, software, design, and personal skills. Less and less of what we value as customers and investors can be stockpiled at ports, loaded onto railway wagons, stored in warehouses, or weighed on scales. Second, the generation, application, orchestration, and exploitation of knowledge is becoming critical to how companies, regions, and economies develop and sustain competitive advantage. And that's the end of the quote from Ledbetter. These trends are driving a rapid transformation of the world of work. Jobs are shifting from traditional areas of employment like manufacturing, agriculture, and resource development and other goods-based industries to communication, service, and knowledge-based industries. There is an increase in the proportion of the labour force that is part-time or casual. So in Queensland, for example, this proportion has grown from 24% in 1990 to 32% this year. There is a shift to employment in small and medium-sized enterprises and self-employment, increases in the proportion of professional and skilled jobs, a decrease in unskilled jobs, and an increase in the level of qualification and skills needed to gain employment. The norm will increasingly be portfolio careers, with people changing career direction several times in their working life and moving between employment, self-employment, and perhaps unemployment. Some commentators believe the concept of a job will disappear to be replaced by work. Access to work will depend on the individual's interpersonal skills, skill at networking and project management, and the ability to organise a flexible life and career. Although your years in education have not been solely directed at preparing for employment, it is no doubt a sobering experience for you to reflect on your experience within education as you have progressed to this point and consider if that experience has prepared you for the future you now face. It is certainly a sobering experience for me and my colleagues within Education Queensland as we consider what state schools in Queensland should be doing for students to give them the best chance of success in a rapidly changing and increasingly complex society. The OECD, the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, again, recently had this advice to offer, and I quote from one of their papers. Two key shortfalls should concern any country. First, the number of adults who have not attained upper secondary qualifications. Second, the proportion of the population who do not display the level of literacy and other skills required to tackle the demands of 21st century life and work. The first measure indicates adults' capacity for extending, the second, their capacity for using human capital. And that's the end of the quote from the OECD. On the first of these measures, Queensland and Australia generally lags far behind the leading OECD countries, and the gap is widening. In 1998, 67% of the age cohort in Queensland completed Year 12. The leading quartile of OECD countries, the ones that we like to compare ourselves with, all achieved 85% or better, and all have positive policies in place to improve that figure. At the level of university qualifications, of course, Australia does much better in the OECD world ranking 5th, but this masks a major problem further down the education system. We should be aiming to ensure that by 2010, at least 88% of our students complete an internationally recognised Year 12, so that we will be able to compete successfully in the global marketplace. Why is this important? Individuals who complete Year 12 are more employable than those who fail to do so. Individuals who attain Year 12 earn more than those who do not. And there are strong links between the qualification levels attained by a regional population and the regional economic performance and competitiveness. In short, if we in Queensland want access to the benefits of the knowledge economy of the future, we have to ensure the education levels and skills of our people are up with the best in the world. Committing to increase the number of students who successfully complete Year 12 by about 20% over the next 10 years rolls easily off the tongue. But what are the reforms that we should have to implement to do it? What will students who go to state schools need to learn to succeed in school and in later life? The key reforms I would like to see are these. Firstly, a new curriculum framework outlining the new basics that students need. Reading and writing and arithmetic, whether taught to theme of a hickory stick or not, are no longer adequate in the post-industrial world. Equally important are critical and creative thinking, problem solving, and the capability for lifelong learning. Mastery of information technology and managing information underpin all learning and reinforce the need for high standards of literacy and numeracy. Secondly, schools that offer a distinctive educational experience. Given the diverse needs and aspirations of different student groups and communities around Queensland, the one-size-fits-all school that tries to be all things to all people on the one site is a relic of the past. Schools need to be flexible in curriculum, pedagogy, and the organisation of the school day to respond to the different needs that students have. 3. Broader options for students to complete Year 12. About 30% of students in any year go on to university. Of the first year intake to universities in Queensland, only about 38% now come directly from completing Year 12 in the previous year. And yet, the Year 11-12 curriculum is still dominated by a rigorous study program designed to facilitate tertiary entrance procedures. We need broader options for students, equivalent in esteem to the current OP approach, that reflect the pathways into further study and work that the majority of students now actually take. This is not about a drop in standards to allow more students to complete Year 12. It is recognising that the post-school destination of students require different preparations and that learning is now a lifelong endeavour, not something that ends with formal education. 4. Schools that are leaders in information technology. Students will need to be independent and confident users of information technology, capable of collaborative and innovative practice. We are committing Education Queensland to becoming a fully networked learning community. It is not just an issue of ensuring students master the skills. We need to use the enormous possibilities of information technology to provide better access to learning for students and to transform the way learning occurs. This university itself, for example, has pioneered many developments in this area and thus offers opportunities at its 6 campuses which each campus alone could not offer. 5th and finally, we need teachers that make the best use of contemporary learning theory. The role and work of teachers has changed dramatically in the face of the challenges for education that I've mentioned briefly. They are no longer the repositories of all knowledge, the gatekeeper, standing at the front of a teacher-centred classroom. They are facilitators of learning, project managers and research assistants. They work in partnership with parents and local businesses to provide a rich range of experience for students. They are responsible for the social development of children in an environment where traditional values and cultures are challenged daily. We need to invest heavily in their skills and make sure that education faculties, which train teachers, are aware of the real situation unfolding in schools. So, in all of this, we must remain firmly committed to the principle of a fair go. The knowledge economy and our exposure to global markets carry with them the threat that disadvantaged groups will have that disadvantage increased. The state school system will continue to be the avenue through which most young people have the chance to and support to succeed. To that, I would like to add the idea that, irrespective of your background or circumstance, a state school education will guarantee that you have the chance to successfully complete 12 years of schooling and acquire, as I put it, the new basics, a foundation of skills that will serve you well in your chosen path to the future. As the graduates gathered here today, you are the prospective leaders of our country of the future. Education has played a major role in your life, and I trust that as leaders of the future, whatever your chosen career, you will continue to value education and support education systems as they strive to build a bridge to the future for our young people. Young people who will live their lives in new communities, work in a new economy with new technologies. Thank you very much.
Chancellor, Sir Frank Moore, Mr Terry Moran, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, Griffith University staff. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity tonight to thank Terry Moran for the challenges he's outlined for you. In saying this, I'd like to note that graduations are important events for you, and that's stating the obvious, but they're also extremely important events for we, the staff of the university. They're important for you because you're moving to a new stage of your life, and it's a rite of passage for you as you move out. We're not moving, most of us are staying. I think that's true as I look around the stage. But it's a time for us to reflect upon our core business, which is teaching and learning and research, and to think, how have we engaged in that process with you? Have we delivered what you expect of us? And are we preparing you for the challenges that Mr Moran has outlined? In his speech, I think he's outlined some very important challenges in a rapidly changing and increasingly complex society. The challenges that he's outlined will directly or indirectly affect each one of you. What I hope is that the training that you've received at Griffith University will equip you to confront these challenges and to make a constructive contribution to society in so doing. It's interesting in listening to Mr Moran to note how relevant his comments are for universities, because we're at the next stage of education, to state the obvious. His comments about the one-size-fits-all school notion no longer being valid is being argued throughout the country to being very true also of universities. So I think in the way that a challenge has been presented to you by Mr Moran, it's also a highly relevant challenge to we in universities. We are all going to have to be more innovative in the way that we adapt to our rapidly changing society. And I hope that in your education at Griffith, you've been encouraged to think innovatively. Innovation, of course, is one of the key values in our university mission. I would recommend that you take seriously the challenges outlined by Mr Moran for at least two reasons. One is that the issues are serious, his advice is timely and useful. But the second reason is that for many of you, he may well be your boss soon. Finally, I would like to comment on the relationship between the reputation of our university and your future careers. As you go into the workforce, and some of you are already there, how you perform will reflect very much on the reputation of Griffith. You will, I hope and believe, significantly add to the quality of the reputation of Griffith. Similarly, as we within the university work to improve our university, that will contribute to the value of your degree. So in saying that, I hope that we will experience an ongoing and long-term relationship, and a synergistic one at that. Having said that, I would ask you now to join with me in thanking Mr Moran.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony is now concluded. When the fanfares begin, please rise and remain standing as the dais party, the staff procession and the graduates retire. Thank you. and gentlemen, the Chancellor, the Honourable John Crossan, will now address us.
Deputy Chancellor of Griffith University, Mr. Norm Bussell, and fellow members of the University Council, Foundation Chancellor Sir Theodore Bray, Acting Vice Chancellor Professor Bill Lovegrove, Mr. John Carney, Chair, and other members of the Griffith University Gold Coast Campus Advisory Council, Councillor Dawn Critchlow of the Gold Coast City Council, special guests Sir Frank Moore and Mr. Terry Moore, Queensland Director General of Education, staff and students of the university, ladies and gentlemen. We come together for an important Gold Coast event, a Griffith University Gold Coast graduation ceremony. Graduation ceremonies are happy occasions, but at the same time serious. We have the achievements of the individual students to acknowledge and celebrate, yet we remain aware of a strong sense of continuing university tradition. The pride of the graduates' families and friends is reflected in the pleasure we all feel and the graduates' awareness of the capabilities they have demonstrated will remain to sustain them in life's further challenges. As Chancellor, speaking for myself and the other members of Council, the University's governing body, and on behalf of the University staff and student body, I offer warmest congratulations to each of the graduating students. We share in their sense of achievement. Their success is the university's success. It's a pleasure to welcome here this evening Sir Frank Moore, AO, who will receive the university's honorary degree, Doctor of the University, during the course of this ceremony, and also Mr Terry Moran, Director General of the Queensland Department of Education, who will address us later in our proceedings. Fuller introductions will follow at the appropriate time. Griffith University has grown to become one of the nation's most important tertiary educational institutions. Its strength and significance come from its multi-campus undertaking in the southeast corner of the state. Its teaching and research are coordinated through a unified administration attentive to the needs of all of its 6 campuses. There are now some 14 schools based at the Gold Coast campus, included in the broad areas of arts, business, health and science. Griffith University has over the years, since the amalgamation with the Gold Coast campus took place, invested much effort and a large amount of its capital funds here, over $50 million so far. I should add that a significant further amount is committed. The university has got good value for its investment. What had been a financially fairly straitened College of Advanced Education, located upon the Gold Coast campus, has been transformed into a vibrant and attractive university campus with a large and increasing establishment in terms of its buildings, facilities, staff and student body. It's become more and more apparent that the objective of serving the tertiary needs of this area and a considerable population beyond has been kept firmly in mind. However, this being said, there remains more to be done. Notwithstanding the changes that have occurred in recent times in travel, communications, technology, and the level of mobility in living arrangements, particularly of the young, the majority of potential students in this country prefer to have access to educational institutions established near their current homes. In part, this preference is influenced by economic considerations. It is a preference which needs to be acknowledged, and unfortunately, the Gold Coast area, on a comparative population basis, remains at a considerable disadvantage. Building on its efforts in the past, Griffith University has embarked on a new campaign to address the imbalance, lobbying the Commonwealth Government to provide more funding to meet the demand. In pursuing its teaching and research objectives, the university remains anxious to engage productively with government at all levels, with local business and with the community. It is pleasing that in a number of ways there have been concrete results. Examples of the success it has achieved are the Gold Coast City Council's funding of a university chair in coastal management and the university's own sponsorship of a Technomart to be held at the Gold Coast in November this year, with expectations of attracting large numbers of Australian and international visitors. The Gold Coast campus and the university overall continue to draw large numbers of students from overseas, and mindful of the need to consolidate the nation's place on the world scene, strengthen its economic links, and contribute to global understanding, this is a satisfying trend. Tourism sustains an important part of this region's economy, and it's pleasing that Griffith School of Tourism and Hotel Management has now won the Queensland Tourism Award for Industry Education for the 5th time. The continued good health of all of the university's academic schools represented at the Gold Coast campus is to be applauded. New major initiatives calling for separate mention of the recent launch of our Graduate Diploma of Physiotherapy and a double degree of Bachelor of Physiotherapy, Bachelor of Exercise Science courses, as well as the formation of a Griffith University Medical Research Institute. This institute will incorporate a number of existing research centres, now to be joined by a new centre for biomolecular science and drug discovery. The state government has contributed generously to the funding of the new centre, which will be headed by Professor von Itzstein, who is himself a Griffith graduate and developer of the anti-influenza drug Relenza. The consolidation of the position of all of the university campuses, the longer established ones at Nathan and Mount Gravatt, the two premier institutions in our state involved in the field of the arts, the Conservatorium and the College of Art, a further campus here at the Gold Coast, and the newest campus of all at Logan is something to celebrate. Before continuing with the formalities of this occasion, let me return again to express my warmest congratulations to our graduating students and to offer my best wishes to them as they undertake the next stage of their careers. I now call on the deans of the respective faculties to present the graduates who are to receive their awards at this ceremony. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor James Morton, Vice Chancellor of Arts.
Chancellor, I present graduates from the Faculty of Arts who have been granted the following awards. Bachelor of Arts, Chantal Carr. Jessica Chen. Julie Pearfoss. Monica Clouseau. Linda King. Adele Morse. Wendy Palmer. Roy Cameron. Jennifer Worsfold. Sue Ying Yang. Louise Monet. Bachelor of Arts in Communication, Emma Day. Cooper Dawson. Jasmine Fryer. Kate Martin. Bachelor of Arts in Creative Arts, Benjamin James. Bachelor of Arts in Japanese, Kim Sui Deng. Graduate Certificate in Film and Television Music, Celia Hall. Master of Arts, Joan Marlon. Kira Fall, Montira Malai. Master of Mass Communication, Big Clark Kane. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of Faculty of Arts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Margaret Gardner, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Business and Equity.
Chancellor, I present graduates of the Faculty of Commerce and Management who have been granted the following awards. Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, Anne Gordon. Jane Griffith. Jill Harris. Bachelor of Business, Sharon Anderson. Robert Baird. John Barch. Evelyn Ventoro. Yoga Rosano.